What's up? This is Dr. Sog, and today I chose to remember a certain situation that happened one time. I think it's not really long ago. I think it's been a month. Yes, it's been a month since that thing happened, and it was when I had gone for visitation for one of my girls at Mpoma School, and someone might come shouting at me on grounds of defamation, but this is an insult to also my person, my personality, my wife, and family. Let's talk about this and more when I return. I'm Sog. So let's talk about slavery. I'm always talking about this, and some people are always going to keep on saying, but why are you always talking about slavery? Why is it a big deal? And some of you think that slavery is when your hands are shackled and legs, and maybe your neck is yoked, and you have a slave driver always shouting at you, fuata nyayo, fuata nyayo, fuata nyayo. For those of you who don't understand what fuata nyayo means in Kiswahili, it means follow line, fall in line, fall in line. No, that's not only what you think is slavery. I think the biggest slaver is one person who wakes up and takes those shackles off your hands and ankles, takes that yoke away from your neck, and instead decides to ask you for all your children and takes them to indoctrinate them. He will never yoke them, he will never shackle them, he will never raise a flog at them, but they shall do what exactly he's indoctrinated into them. I've always told you that the Catholics say that give me a child at 5 and I'll give you a Catholic for life. You can imagine. You might look at that statement as a small statement, but my friend, that is so deep. He knows what he's done for that child or through that child for a lifetime. That child will never think independently. That child will always think on grounds of what he has written onto that child. And that's slavery. And you will be surprised. People are having doctorates, people are having degrees, people are having everything, but in their brains, they are big slaves. Huge slaves. They are slaves. They have a slave master for proxy in the books they read, in the religion they practice, in the status quo that they live in. It is a horrible thing that we do not pay attention to. Some other people might look at us and call us abolu gezi gezi, wako na kimbele mbele. But my friend, it is this heterodoxia that has helped us free us and see beyond what you see. And see beyond the black and white, but take an eye into gray, because there are 50 shades of gray. Now, this is intellectual talk. If you're not an intellectual, please, you don't understand this flog. So I'm at school, and the school administration or school policy says that females are not supposed to come in trousers. How it affects the visitation, I also do not know. How it affects me coming to attend to my child and see how my child's welfare is and everything, I do not know. These are things that you really see are just indoctrinations, but just because some people live in a prison somewhere, or a prison was brought and put somewhere into their heads, they just follow these things. Now, one thing you have to understand is that a slave always has a master that they never question absolutely whatsoever, and they have their equal. And that is also put into a slave's brain rather, or thinking or reasoning. So we tell them, so where are we going to get a wrap, a lesu, kitenge to cover up? No, this policy, this policy. I said, yes, it is policy now. The madman in me gets up and says, hey, it was not ever written anywhere in the book or in the papers as some of the terms and regulations that we're supposed to be following in here. So don't you disturb me. That's me talking to the guy at the gate. That's when they calm down. That's when they realize that, for those of you who watched the film Django, this is a film I'm always recommending people to. When a slave realizes their power and they say no to the enslaving system. Now you're going to bear with the noise of the kids around here. This is Africa. It's a free world. Now, the most annoying thing is, I should call it a cliffhanger. We're there, I've shut them up, I've vanquished them, they've realized that they didn't write it anywhere, maybe it's their fault, it's not our fault. And then here comes a Caucasian lady, a Mzungu, who comes in pants, trousers to be precise. And no one rose a finger to that woman. Because as I told you, in a slave's brain, there's an equal and a slave master. Slave master is not questioned absolutely whatsoever. But the equal can be questioned. That's why in the film, the protagonist, Jamie Foxx, he's shown that after he realizes the power he has as not being a slave from what he has been a slave, even his slavers, if there's such a word, the people holding him slave or captive, the psychology got disturbed. A slave who can read and write? So, why does that Mzungu come and he's not questioned about their dress code? But because this is my country, this is Uganda, this is my home, a white person is supposed to come and get away with breaking the rules, the policies of a school, of society, while me, the child of the soil, cannot. Now you see the slavery. And by the way, one thing I should tell you about is some slave masters no longer even have to be there and have their own slave master. They just have to train a slave driver from amongst you. So you people who think that you're the custodians of the law and you cannot understand and understand which point do you create a threshold, which point do you create an exception. You are just robots with hearts and with emotion. So emancipate yourself from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free our minds. Slavery